Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Fort Liberty, North Carolina, home of the Army universe. My name is Chaplain Virginia Emery. I am an alumni of Gordon-Conwell Theological Seminary. I received my Master's of Divinity in 2006, and I currently serve as the Chief of Religious Support for the United States Army Reserve Command that's centered here at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. I served actually in the military in the 1990s. When I left in 1999, I did not intend to return. But of course, I was at seminary during and in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. Even at that time, I wasn't sure that the Lord was calling me back into the military. And I really struggled discerning my call because every class I took was really interesting and I felt the Lord could use me in some way. So I would sit in exegesis class and think, oh, maybe I could be an academic. Or I'd sit in Christian education class and go, this is the way I need to make disciples. Or in a missions class and say, oh, Lord, send me on the foreign field. But surprisingly, it was in my weakest subject, which was Hebrew, that the Lord spoke to me through the ministry of Dr. Gary Pratico. I don't exactly remember the context, but what I clearly remember is Dr. Pratico saying, you may have heard the King James translation of Jehovah Sabaoth, Lord of Hosts. And he said, really, we would translate that today as Lord of Armies. And it was in that moment of clarity that I feel the Lord gave me that call to return to the Army, but this time as an Army chaplain. So the joys and challenges of serving as an Army chaplain are many, especially serving in the Army Reserve. The greatest joy that I have is serving the men and women of the Army Reserve, providing religious and spiritual support, religious and spiritual leadership to our force. I serve the chaplains that do that work out in the field, and I directly serve the soldiers and the officers and their families. One of the biggest challenges we have in the Army Reserve is, for me personally, it's moving a lot. I serve full time in the Army Reserve, and so every 2 to 3 years, I get sent to a new location, I get a new assignment. So that can be challenging sometimes. I think everybody in the Army Reserve struggles to balance or to prioritize all the things that are important in their life. Their civilian jobs, their military jobs, their family obligation, and that's true for all of us. But truly the joys outweigh the challenges. We have the high-end awful, AWE-FULL, calling to serve people in some of the darkest hours, in combat, in times of illness or injury, in times of great distress. And as chaplains, we represent the divine presence with them, even in those dark places. Gordon-Conwell's biggest influence and impact on my life and how I conduct my ministry today, I definitely absorbed from our professors who lived and really taught this motto to us, is that the Holy Spirit works through our preparation, our professionalism, and our expertise. And so when we dedicate those hours to the books and studying and researching to prepare a sermon, the work of the Holy Spirit is with us. And I think of that every day, every phone call, every email, every school I go to, every presentation I write, every training I develop. I think, Lord, would you be with us? Would you be with me as I prepare this, as I answer that? And I try to bring that professionalism, expertise, and preparation with me everywhere I go as a way not only to honor God, but again, to more fully support those that I serve.